Hello dear students, today we will discuss Ampere circuital law. So let me tell you what is Ampere circuital law. As in electrostatics we have used Gauss's theorem to help us in difficult situations. Otherwise we have used Coulomb's law to find out the electric field due to point charges or multiple point charges. But when the situation is complicated, means when there is a line charge distribution, when there is surface charge distribution, when there is volume charge distribution, in that case we have used Gauss's theorem, because using Gauss's theorem it is very convenient to find out the electric fields. And here in this chapter, magnetism, we have used Voigt-Savart's law to find out the magnetic field. But you see, when again the situations are complicated, we can use another law in magnetism which is identical with the Gauss's theorem in electrostatics. So in magnetism we are going to study Ampere circuital law. So the way Gauss's theorem has helped us to solve difficult situations, Ampere circuital law will also help us to simplify our complicated problems. So what is Ampere circuital law? Let us discuss. So I am going to tell you the statement first. What is the statement? For example, if I am having a current carrying wire, infinitely long current carrying wire, and you see, we know that if the current is in the upward direction, you have to keep your thumb in the direction to the current and you will curl your fingers, and the curling of the fingers will give you the direction of the magnetic field. So if you want to see the magnetic field lines, so they would be like this. And these magnetic field lines, they are in a plane perpendicular to the wire. Now what Ampere circuital law says? The line integral of magnetic field due to a current carrying wire so current carrying wire is there, so magnetic field is there, and the line integral of the magnetic field due to current carrying wire is mu naught times the current passing through the loop. So magnetic field, the line integral of the magnetic field forming a loop. So here I must write what is the nature of the magnetic field. Here it is also forming a loop. So I must write magnetic field which is forming a loop, and in which plane it is forming the loop? The plane which is perpendicular to the direction of motion of direction of the current. So the line integral of magnetic field forming a loop, and that field is due to the current carrying wire. What is the line integral of that magnetic field? That is mu naught times the current which is passing or which is threading through the loop. So here, suppose this is a current carrying wire. If you want to find out the magnetic field here or at any point, what you need to find out? You have to simply find out the line integral of magnetic field, line integral through a closed loop, and it must be equal to mu naught times the current which is passing through the loop. Now let us see what is the proof of this theorem. So let us discuss the proof of this theorem. So I am considering the same example here. I am having the current carrying wire. Let us consider current is I, and this wire is infinitely long wire, and what is the magnetic field due to infinitely long wire? That is mu naught I over 2 pi r at any point. Suppose if this point is at a distance r, so what is the magnetic field? That is mu naught I over 2 pi r for the length of the wire to be infinite. So here mathematically what we can write here, line integral of magnetic field is mu naught times the current which is passing through the loop or which is threading that loop. Now this side I am going to consider in proof. Let us see B dot dl. Now you can see, as in case of Gauss's theorem, we have considered closed areas. Closed areas we have considered. In order to apply Ampere's law, Ampere circuital law, we need to have the Amperian loops, means the closed loops. Area I am not going to consider. So closed loops may have the open area. So if this is a closed loop, let us consider any loop here. The same loop I have to consider as in case of Gauss's theorem, the closed area was passing through the point of observation. So here also the closed loop we are going to consider, it must pass through the point of observation. So let us consider this loop and the magnetic field which is also identical or it is coinciding with the loop. So you see at any point this is the direction of the loop and this is the direction of the magnetic field. So at every point the angle between the magnetic field and the length of the loop is 0 degree. Side by side they are running. So both of them they are parallel. So you can write here B dl cos 0. Cos 0 is 1. So you can write here B dl. As you see, as per the symmetry, so this loop R is what? R is the point of observation from the wire, and when we are taking the point of observation all around the wire, you are going to get a circle, and every point on a circle is at equal distance from the wire. So magnetic field on the every point of the loop would be constant, so I am taking it out. So B dot or multiplied dl. And what is dl here? dl is the total length of the Amperian loop we have to consider. We are considering here. So total length of this loop would be 2 pi r. That is circumference of the wire. Now let us substitute the values of b. What is b? That is mu naught I over 2 pi r into 2 pi r. So 2 pi r would get cancelled. So what we are left with? Mu naught I. And this is the proof of Ampere's circuital law. So what we can write here? Line integral of magnetic field over the closed loop is mu naught times the total current threading that loop. Total current entering the loop or coming out of the loop. So total current you have to consider, and sign conventions we have to use. The current which is entering the loop we can take positive, the current which is leaving the loop may be taken as negative. So one example I am going to consider here. Let us consider one is this wire, another is this wire. In one of the wire current is going upwards, current I, and in another wire current is going downward, that is current I. So if you want to find out the magnetic field at any point on the loop I have drawn here, what you will write? B dot dl is equal to mu naught times the total current. One is I, another is minus I, because one current is upwards, another current is downwards. So here in this case, total magnetic field would become 0, because the wires are infinite in nature, and the point at any point near the wires, the net magnetic field will become 0 because of both these currents. The currents are identical in nature and opposite in directions. So this is the proof of the Ampere's circuital law. Okay, now we will discuss the applications of Ampere circuit law. First application, we are going to discuss, we will find out the magnetic field due to infinitely long current carrying wire. So let us consider I am having a wire which is infinitely long wire, and here at point P I want to find out the magnetic field, and let us consider current I is flowing through this wire. So what are the basic requirements for applying Ampere's circuit law? We must have one Amperian loop. So we will find out the Amperian loop as we have used some symmetry for making the Gaussian surface. So here also we need to have some symmetry. What type of symmetry we need? We want either magnetic field of the current carrying wire should be parallel to the loop, or it should be normal to the loop, or it should be in such a way that the magnetic field is going to get zero at the loop. So most convenient symmetry here is, you see the current carrying wire is there and the magnetic field lines, they would be circular. So it is convenient to consider the loop in circular nature. So I am going to consider Amperian loop. And second thing, the Amperian loop must be passing through the point of observation. So I am going to consider this loop which is passing through the point of observation, and let us consider this point P is lying at a distance R. So I am going to apply Ampere circuit law. B dot dl is mu naught I. So this is what? This is Ampere circuit law. dl is what? This is a small length element of the loop we have considered here. And as per the symmetry, magnetic field is circular, loop we have considered is also circular in nature. So at any point magnetic field is tangential, length element is also tangential. So magnetic field and length element, they would be parallel to each other. So angle between the magnetic field and length of the loop would be 0 degree. So what we can write here? dl cos 0 mu naught I. Cos 0 is 1. Cos 0 is 1. Now again we have discussed the symmetry. You see at every point on the closed loop here is at equal distance from the wire. So magnetic field would be same at every point of the loop. So this is constant for this length of the loop. So what we can write here? I can write B outside the integration. Total length of the loop is equal to mu naught I. Now what is the total length of the loop, Amperian loop? This is Amperian loop. So for this length, total length of the loop is what? That is the circumference of the loop. So what we can write? 2 pi r is equal to mu naught I. So what is the total magnetic field? Mu naught I over 2 pi r. So this is what? This is the magnitude of magnetic field due to current carrying infinitely long wire. So for the direction, so this is the magnitude only. If you want to write down the direction of the magnetic field at point P, how we can find out the direction? This rule. The right hand thumb rule you have to use. Keep your thumb in the direction of the current, and curling of your fingers will give you the direction of the magnetic field. So here you see curling of the fingers. So your fingers are coming out from here and means the magnetic field lines is like this. So at point P, what is the direction of the magnetic field? So here fingers are coming. So here magnetic field lines are coming out. Here the magnetic field lines are going inside. So here magnetic field would be inward. So you can write here also magnetic field is inwards. For the point P we have considered. If the point P is lying here, what would be the direction of magnetic field? This would be outward. You see magnetic field lines are coming out from here, they are going inside from here, out from this side, inside from this side. So at any point you can write the direction of the magnetic field also. So this was the first application of the Ampere's circuital law, that is the magnetic field due to current carrying infinitely long wire. So I have not written the topic, so this was magnetic field due to current carrying wire. So this is the topic we have discussed. Magnetic field due to infinitely long current carrying wire. What is that? Mu naught I over 2 pi r. And if you want to write this expression in terms of K, how you will write down? K is what? In magnetism, K is mu naught over 4 pi. So 2 you will multiply with 2 and 2. So mu naught over 4 pi. This would be K. So this can be written as 2 Ki over R. So in this way also you can write. If you want to write the expression in terms of K, we can easily write down the expression in terms of K. Yes, students, next application is solenoid. What solenoid is? Solenoid is what? This is a long insulated wire wound in the form of a helix, and all the turns are closely spaced. So what is solenoid? It is a long wire which is wound in the form of a helix, and all the turns they are closely spaced, means they are very much close to each other. And what we can consider here, we can consider each turn of the solenoid as a single current carrying circular loop. So this solenoid is used to produce high magnetic fields. In televisions, in many of the circuits, you might have seen the solenoids which are used to produce high magnetic field. Now we are going to find out the magnetic field due to this solenoid using Ampere's circuital law. So let us draw it properly. This is, let us consider an imaginary cylinder, and on this cylinder, imaginary, this is imaginary, we are just trying to have a solenoid, a wire in the form of helix. Now you see here wire is going, so one side of the solenoid is clear here. Now let us consider current I is flowing through this wire. So current I is entering here and it is coming out from here, entering, coming out. So in this way a continuous flow of the current is taking place. So another view, if you want to draw another view, what type of view is there? Let us consider this is a solenoid. So here current is entering and here current is coming out. Current is entering, coming out. I just want to draw here what type of magnetic field would be produced by the solenoid. Now you see when the current here, you see solenoid is there, complete solenoid in the form of helix is there, and now I am going to consider each loop of the solenoid, each turn of the solenoid to find out the direction of the net magnetic field. Now you see here current is going inside, you just keep your thumb in the direction of the current and curl your fingers. So here magnetic field lines, they are clockwise. So in this way, here also magnetic field lines are clockwise. Here, same. here magnetic field lines, they would be anti-clockwise. I'm just drawing one loop of magnetic field everywhere. So these type of magnetic field loops are created. Now just see, just in between the two loops here, this magnetic field is going upward, here it is going downward. So this magnetic field is going to get cancelled with one another. So similarly here, magnetic field will get cancelled. I am just talking about here one loop. So if number of loops magnetic field lines are created, all the magnetic field lines, due to one turn they are going upward, due to other turn they are going downward. So they are going to cancel each other. So here there is no magnetic field. Similarly here, this is downward, this is upward. So magnetic field lines here, they are going to cancel each other. But the magnetic field, if you will watch carefully inside the solenoid. So here you can see inside the solenoid, this magnetic field, this is from right to left. And here also you can see it is from right to left. So all these magnetic field lines, they are having the same direction. So in order to find out the resultant magnetic field inside the solenoid, all these magnetic field lines, they will get added up. And you will get highly uniform magnetic field inside the solenoid. So highly uniform magnetic field is produced inside the solenoid, and you can see here direction is uniform, and magnetic field lines in between the loops are going to get cancelled, and so here magnetic field lines outside the solenoid is very less. And here very strong magnetic field is produced inside the solenoid, and outside the solenoid very less or zero magnetic field would be there. Now if you want to find out the magnitude of the magnetic field produced here, magnitude of magnetic field is, derivation is not in the syllabus, but I am just telling you what is the magnitude of this solenoid, magnetic field of solenoid. Magnitude is mu naught n I. I is what? I is the current in the solenoid. N is what? N is the number density of the solenoid. Number density of solenoid means, number density is what? This is the number of turns per unit length of the solenoid. So number of turns per unit length of the solenoid is small n, or small n can be written as n over L. N is the total number of turns of the solenoid, L is the total length of the solenoid. So this formula we can use for the magnetic field in the solenoid, and you can see here magnetic field inside the solenoid is very strong. It is almost uniform, and you will see how strong magnetic field is produced inside the magnetic field in the activity also. We'll discuss that also. In solenoid, when the current is passed, it will get magnetized. It will start attracting the small iron objects towards itself, which shows that when current is passing through the solenoid, then what happens? It will be magnetized, means magnetic field inside the solenoid is produced. When you are keeping the iron objects outside the solenoid, there is no effect of magnetic field, but inside the solenoid, high amount of magnetic field is produced. So this solenoid or coil, solenoid is used to produce high magnetic field in various electrical components. Thank you.